Okay, are you ready for this? I'm not sure you're ready for it, but here we go. This is a news article that came out June the 24th, 2022. And where are we? We are in Lima, Ohio. Are you ready? An abomination. Kendall draws 94 years for sex with multiple minors. There, by the way, is the email address of the reporter, Jay Swigert at limanews.com. Jerry Kendall, 37, of Lima, leaves Allen County courtroom in handcuffs Monday to begin serving a 90-year prison sentence for having repeated sexual encounters with young boys over a span of several years. Once great life now lives in my memory, Kendall said to the judge before sentencing. Jeremy Kendall told Judge Jeffrey Reed prior to sentencing he was full of guilt and remorse. I live daily with that pain, Kendall said. Kendall bowed his head as sentences totaling a minimum of 94 years in prison were read in Allen County Common Pleas Court on Monday. Lima. Jerry Kendall will spend the rest of his natural life in prison for sexually assaulting seven young boys, several of whom had been welcomed as foster children into the home he shared with same-sex domestic partner Scott Stevens. Kendall, 37, was sentenced Monday in Allen County Common Pleas Court to a minimum of 94 years behind bars. Indicted by a grand jury in July 2020 on 65 felony counts that included rape, felonious assault, and sexual battery, the Lima man entered into a negotiated plea with prosecutors in November. He pled guilty to 20 sex-related crimes against minors. The guilty pleas included 5 counts of felonious assaults and 9 counts of sexual battery, felonies of the second degree, and 5 counts of unlawful sexual conduct with a minor, and a single count of tampering with evidence. Assistant Allen County prosecuting attorney Joe Everhart alleged that Kendall had a personal harem of kids under his control for his sexual pleasures. Everhart said Kendall, who was infected with the virus that causes AIDS, rewarded his young victims with alcohol and marijuana for taking part in regular sex parties. If this is not the worst form of these offenses, I don't know what is, Everhart said in asking the court to impose the maximum possible sentence. The prosecutors said rape charges against Kendall were dismissed by the state not because we were unable to prove those counts, but rather to limit the trauma of the young boys who were victims in the case. Kendall said a few words to the judge prior to the imposition of the sentence. I am standing here today ashamed of my actions, humiliated and full of regret, Kendall told Judge Jeffrey Reed. I am full of guilt and remorse. I live daily with that pain. My once great life now lives in my memory. Reed said he struggled to make sense of the facts in the case before concluding that there is just no sense to be made of any of this. The only adjective I can find is that it is an abomination, he said. Noting that the punishment in Kendall's case should fit the crime, Reed ordered the Lima man to serve sentences on all 20 counts consecutively. Kendall showed no emotion when the sentences were announced. In July 2018, Kendall, 36, and Steffi's were foster parents and adopted 3 boys, ages 3 through 8. With the help of Allen County Children's Services. The partners already had legal custody of 3 boys between the ages of 14 and 17 at the time. In the spring of 2020, investigators with the Lima Police Department were alerted to questionable activities inside the couple's home. When officers attempted to arrest Kendall as he left the home on May 23rd, he grabbed a cordless circular saw and cut his own throat. He was taken to OSU Wexner Medical Center in Columbus for treatment of his injuries. Oh yeah, remember that Wexner, associated with Jeffrey Epstein, by the way. Less than a month later, 3 employees at the Allen County Children's Services Agency were suspended as what would initially be described as violation of the agency's policies and procedures related to Kendall's case came to light. 2 of these employees eventually resigned, and Executive Director Cynthia Scanlan was charged with 3 felony counts of trying to cover up the scandal. No trial date has been set for Steffes, who was charged in a 62-count indictment on charges similar to those faced by Kendall. Folks, there are no words for this. No words. We're allowing same-sex couples to adopt little boys with no oversight, no thoughts, no consideration to sexual immorality. And here we go. Lima, Ohio, Allen County, January 2022. Defund ASFA and shut down CPS.